But the way we do Holocaust education in Dikh and Bister is different and, in my opinion, more effective. So what we are doing is essentially we are bringing the humanity back into the story that was taken away from the people who were given.
Welcome to the Amaro Voice podcast. Amaro is from the Romani language and means our Roma, Sinti and traveler voices among Europe. We continue today our interview series about Dikh and Bister and Ternype. Last week we had an interview about the media team with Oliver Marco, and now we are on the last day of the prepare meeting in Austrian gym for Dikh and Bister. So today we will talk about the educational team and also about the facilitator. And today join us Ioana Spataru. Thank you for being here. And
Thank you.
Of course, you can introduce yourself.
So my name is Ioana. I'm the education advisor for this year's Dikh and Bister 2024 8-year anniversary edition.
Ioana, can you introduce the educational team and also your task in it?
So the educational team consists of 3 people. The first, there is Xavier. He is a trainer from the Council of Europe Trainers Pool. Council of Europe is one of the co-founders of this event, and Xavier is here to support us with non-formal education methodology and all of these things that the youth department stands for. Then we have Pia. Pia actually comes from formal education, so she supports with this aspect of her knowledge, and she also has a history, an education in history, and has been with Dikh and Bister for many, many years. And then it's me. I'm a human rights trainer. I've been in Dikh and Bister 2014 for the 70 years anniversary. So now 10 years later, I have the privilege and the honor to be in this position to train the facilitators, to design the program, and to make sure everybody has a great experience in summer.
So which roles does have the facilitator during Dikh and Bister and what will they doing?
The facilitators have many roles, but first and foremost, they are there to take care of the participants in their education and in the non-formal learning processes. So that means that there are multiple sessions that we prepare this week and that the facilitators get to know and practice. And then they will carry on these sessions in the summer event with the participants. And this is all about familiarizing the participants with topics of remembrance, topics of the Roma genocide, and all of these things that are usually forgotten in history books and are not taught in school. This is the beauty of non-formal education. We can cover topics that we are usually not covering in other places of society. So in that sense, the facilitators do have a great responsibility. They talk about things the participants don't really have chances in other places to learn about, but beyond that, they are a big part of. Aside from that, we will have around 400 or 500 participants this year, so we need many skilled facilitators to help us also take care of the participants, make sure all of their needs are met, make sure that they are learning, make sure that they have good experiences. And yes, it's going to be a really beautiful cooperation between the new facilitators we trained this week and the organizing team and the educational team and the media team. So I'm really hopeful after this week that it's going to be really an amazing teamwork experience.
So on this week, the media team, the facilitator, the educational team, and the organizational team had this meeting to prepare for Dikh and Bister. So can you explain why is it that so important having the prepare meeting?
Without the preparatory meeting, we could not do anything. In the preparatory meeting, first of all, we have to think about that we're coming together from many, many countries, and we don't get the chance to meet in any other point, not even the organizational team, because the organizational team is split through over 10 countries. So this week is crucial for this event because we are not only preparing the facilitators, but there are many, many things happening in the background. The media team is preparing the media campaign. The organizing team is taking care of logistics. The education team makes sure that the facilitators are ready to take on this responsibility. So this is a really crucial meeting. This year it's even one day longer than last year, and it was still too short.
The prepare meeting started on 11th of May, and today we had the last day. So you, the educational team, but also with the organizational team, you had very hardworking days. Even when we, the media team and the facilitators, was finished and we had our free time in the evenings, you still was working. So for that, thank you for your work. So how was the preparation? So are you satisfied with that?
First of all, thank you so much for acknowledging this. I had no break since the 11th. Basically, I had no coffee break. I slept a few hours every day. I only slept a few hours every night. This is okay because I love my job. I love being a trainer. I love teaching non-formal education. So in this sense, it was fine. But yes, you are right. We were on our feet the whole day. And your question was?
So are you satisfied with the meetings? So
the reason we put so much effort into this is because we really care about the quality of the training. And there are many, many elements that make non-formal education non-formal education. One part, for example, are the reflection groups. Reflection groups are very typical for this space, and this is a space where at the end of the day we can check with the participants or with the facilitators in our case if they are learning. We need to make sure they are learning because this is what they're here for. We need to make sure that we meet all of their learning needs because non-formal education is learner-centered. So that means at the end of the day, after we have all of the sessions, there's reflection group. And after reflection group, we are meeting the people facilitating the reflection groups to reflect on the reflection groups and to evaluate if we need to make adjustments in the training. So then after we decide on adjustments, we need to prepare, maybe change, adjust the next whole day. So this is why we often end up going to sleep at 1 or at 2. But it's fine because the participants are really happy. They feel prepared. We feel like we did a really good job. We were able to bring across all of the big points and objectives that were important for us. So I would say this week was very, very successful. And we all, from the whole Ternype side, from the board to the organizers to the educational team, we have a lot of trust this year. We have amazing facilitators. They are so dedicated and they are already such a great team. They are bonding, they are working, they're very, very motivated, and they really understood the assignment and they understood the responsibility that comes with this role. So I'm really looking forward to meet everybody again in July.
thank you. So my last question, why is it important teaching the Roma and non-Roma youth in Dikh Bister about the Roma and Sinti genocide and history, etc., and other topics, but the program what we prepared? So why is it important to have this?
It's important because I can speak for myself. Growing up in Austria, in Vienna, we do have Holocaust education. It is very present. We have it in many subjects, but the way we do Holocaust education in Dikh Bister is different and, in my opinion, more effective. So what we are doing is essentially we are bringing the humanity back into the story that was taken away from the people who were given numbers, and we are giving names back to the people who where the names were taken away. So we're talking about the Roma heroes, we're talking about resistance, we are talking about remembering, but also what does it mean to remember and why is it important to remember. And now more than ever, with current geopolitics, with current political climates, it's more than ever important to remember what happened not 1,000 years ago, not centuries ago, but only 80 years ago. This is an event where people are still alive, very few, but people are still alive that witnessed this tragedy and this horror. And I'm happy to hear that more and more people, that the number of visitors in Auschwitz Museum is rising. But without the additional educational program, only visiting this place is not enough. So we are providing this, but we are providing it from a Roma perspective, and we are providing it from the youth perspective. And essentially what we are doing is we're connecting, we're networking, we are building capacity, we do advocacy. There's a lot of things happening, and Dikh Bister is the starting point for many other movements, for many careers, for many relationships. Dikh Bister has become a pilgrimage for Roma and non-Roma allies. So there are many ways to answer this question, why we are doing it, but all of it is really important.
Thank you. During the event of Dikh Bister from 29th of July until 4th of August, we will create a lot of content for social media. To not miss anything, we would like you to follow on Instagram Ternype, Dikh Bister and Amaro Voice. And also this podcast series is part of our media work in Dikh Bister. To not miss any episodes, we would like to ask you to subscribe our YouTube channel Amaro Voice. If you just want to listen, you can also follow Amaro Voice on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Amazon Music. To push the algorithm, you can also give us 5 stars. So, Ioana, do you have some anecdotes to share about one of your favorite moments in Dikh Bister? Like a funny story, serious story?
Let me think. It's not a funny story. It's just very impressive, because I grew up in Vienna, and I always knew about my Roma identity. But identity is a very complicated topic, and Roma identity is even more complicated. I'm sure for reasons you were discussing in other episodes. But there is not the Roma identity.
Yes.
And for me, it was so special to come here in 2014 and to be one of 1,000 Roma, to do this journey, to come here for 1 week and learn together. And it was just so powerful to be in this crowd of Roma and to truly experience the Roma life for this week and Roma identity. And we cannot put a name to what Roma identity is, it's too complex. But in that week, and there were some moments where it was very late and everybody was still up and singing and talking and celebrating, and this notion of we are there to commemorate, and we are talking a lot about death and killing and all of these horrible things, but then we come together and there's so much celebration, there's so much celebration of life. Even though Roma have the most difficult lives, there is still this hope when we come together and we see there are many of us. And that was this moment for me to look around and see how many we are and how many are willing to come together for one cause. And in this case, it's remembrance. And it was really powerful, and it was the reason why I wanted to become an activist and I wanted to work with human rights. This was the starting point.
Yeah. So this is also when I was last year, the national group leader for Germany. Some participants wasn't sure if they should apply because they told me that they're afraid to be emotional when we go to Auschwitz. And I told them, look, in Dikh Bister, we are Roma and non-Roma youth, people, many people, and you will be not alone. So if something happened, almost somebody will support you. So we are almost coming to the end of this episode. Do you have any last words?
I think I just wanna send out an invitation to everybody. This is not a Roma only event. This is open for everybody to come and to learn and to experience this side of European history. I believe that everybody in Europe should visit Auschwitz once in their life, maybe everybody in the world, but to experience this through our lens and through the lens of the Dikh Bister, it is very, very special, and it is life-changing. And it is life-changing because it is so emotional, like you said. But we cannot be afraid of emotion. Like the moment it hurts us is the moment it changes us. And it's very powerful, and I would really like to invite everybody to come.
Thanks for watching or listening this episode. This was our podcast episodes about the Prepare meeting. In few weeks, we will continue on having podcast episodes with different participants from Europe in Dikh and Bister. Thanks for watching or listening. Ciao and devlesa. This podcast is funded by the Stiftung Erinnerung, Verantwortung und Zukunft e.V.Z. as part of the project Amaro Voice, digitale Bildungsarbeit über die Communities der europäischen Sinti und Roma bei der NGO Medien und Kulturzentrum Deutscher Roma e.V.